let's go through this process together, okay? With I call it like the level 1 to level 10 self exercise. I made this up. I don't know what it doesn't have a real name yet, but let's just call it the level 10 self exercise. Okay? So, first things first. So, you can pause this, grab a notebook, whatever you need to do this exercise, or just think about it in your head or whatever you need. I'll give you a sec. All right. Okay, so the first step is we are going to connect with your dream life version of you. And you can think about this like in general, like what does your general dream self version of you look like, feel like, act like, whatever. If you're listening to this, you probably already have a pretty good idea. Like I feel like you wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't. But we're going to bring up that vision, okay, that you have. Like where is it that you're trying to go? What does your dream life actually look like? Who are you? How do you act? What are the identities that you hold in your dream reality? Connect to that. That's step 1. Take as much time as you need. Pause this video between steps if you need to. I'm just going to go through it. This is not, if you were in one of my overflow coaching calls, we would literally pause and do it together, but we're not. So this is a podcast. So you can pause if you need to. So that's step 1. Connect to that vision. Okay, so that vision, that version of you, how they look, how they dress, what they do in their life, their daily routines, their weekly routines, their monthly routines, their habits, whatever, their relationships, that's your level 10 self, okay? So now, like if you're writing on a piece of paper, write down level 1 on one line, level 2 on underneath, then level 3, level 4, like just write all the level 1s to 10 all the way in a vertical row. So level 1, 2, 3, if you're watching the video, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? And just write it down in kind of a list looking thing. So we're going to start with level 10. So think of like the version of you that exists in your dream life. What are the things that she's doing in the day-to-day? What are the things that she's doing on a week-to-week basis? These are actions. We're focusing on actions. What are the things she's doing on a month-to-month basis, a quarter-to-quarter basis, a year-to-year basis? You don't have to expand all of that out. You can even just do day-to-day if that makes sense to you right now. As you grow your vision or as you like start moving closer to your vision, it'll naturally fill out. So wherever you're at, depending on how fleshed out your dream life reality vision is, next to level 10 self, write down everything that she's doing or he's doing. This is a podcast for women, but if there's men watching, he whatever he's doing, or if you're non-binary, whatever you're doing. What are the habits? What are the actions? So, for example, if I'm talking about like my dream podcast host version of me, I am posting a video every week. I am posting a accompanying Substack blog post. I'm also doing clips. I'm also like podcast clips posted to Reels and TikTok every day. There's like a clip going out every day on my social media accounts. I also have guest speakers on, and I'm hosting other people's expertise on this podcast. I'm making money from this podcast. I'm managing sponsorships, like brands are reaching out to me to sponsor them on my podcast. So let's just leave it at that. I'm sure I could flesh it out more. So that's my level 10 self. That's what my destination is. Every week when I show up to this podcast, that's what I'm moving towards. So now when you see level 9 and level 8 and level 7 and level 6, start to break it down, okay? This can be kind of challenging, but just stick with it and work with it and you'll figure it out. But figure out, like, if that's your level 10 self, what does your level 5 self look like? What does your level 1 self look like? What does your level 8 self look like? And, like, you can go backwards and kind of just, like, take things away. So, for example, my level 1 self of this podcast was just like posting a podcast a week. Okay, that's just how I was defining it. It's like there's all these things that I eventually want to build up to, but for now, when I started, all I could build up to was 1 episode a week. Okay, so that was my level 1 self. And then my level 2 self was, okay, now we're doing a Substack blog post accompanying each episode. And there's like a written version of all these concepts on Substack now as well, in addition to the one video and audio episode a week. Okay, and then that was probably level 2 self. And then level 3, it was, you know what I'm trying to say? Like the numbers are different. Like you don't have to do 1, 2, 3. It can play with it. You know what I'm trying to say here. Level 3 self, like the next, okay, so the next level is, it's like you keep adding things, right? So the next level is, now I have the Substack article, and now I can post an accompanying Instagram carousel post where some of like the Substack writing is condensed into like a 10 slide Instagram carousel, so people can like read through it and share it easily on Instagram. So every level you're adding something. So when you're reverse engineering it and you're going from level 10 backwards, you can figure it out by just removing things, removing habits. So then when you're done like really writing it all out and understanding what each level entails, at that point, you can identify where you are right now. What is your capacity right now? So right now, I'm at the level where I can post one of these every week. I can post a Substack every week. I can post the Instagram carousel every week, but I'm not at the level yet where I can post the podcast clips. I don't have that yet. So what I'm going to do between now and when I get there, the way I get to that version of me is I just keep doing what the most I can do right now. Because eventually it's not going to feel that hard for me to do the podcast every week. Like it's just going to become normalized. I'm going to get used to it. So it's not going to take that much energy from me to post this every week or to create the Substack. And it's like once I get to a level where it's normalized and it feels almost easy because I'm so used to it at this point, when I start to feel like I have space to add something more, add another step, then I add the podcast clip step. And until I get to that point, and this is something that you feel, okay? This is something that when you're, it's like you almost, it's like you sense that you have more capacity now. You have more space to add something new. This is also like, here's also like the way that this worked for me. So when I launched, so when I launched my podcast, I was doing like a weekly thing. I even started doing clips. If some of you have been following me, you know that I started doing podcast clips. The reason the podcast clips fell off is because after a few weeks of hosting this podcast, I realized that I really connected to this like years long desire that I've had to host a group coaching program. And so the Overflow Method coaching program was born. And so the priorities kind of shifted, okay? So I still have the same capacity level, right? In general, like over for my life. So then I had to fit the Overflow coaching program into my current capacity. And that meant that I had to deprioritize the podcast clips so that I could bring in the weekly group coaching call. So there's past versions of me that would feel like, oh, I fell off. Like I was doing the podcast clips too, and then I fell off. But when I actually think about it and I look into it and I reflect, I didn't fall off. I just deprioritized it because there was something else that was more important, the weekly group call. And the energy, like because I'm still honoring my capacity, the energy that I had put to creating these extra podcast clips, I started putting that towards this weekly group coaching call. Okay, and so now where I'm at, like that, I want to start doing the podcast clips again, but I'm not going to do it until I feel like I have the spaciousness to do it. I'm not going to do it until it stops feeling genuinely, like it's like you measure it also by your discomfort levels, right? So it's like the more that I show up every week for my podcast and I do the Substack and the group coaching and all the stuff that I'm doing, because I get used to it, the discomfort that I feel starts going down because I've become that version of me. Like the discomfort was there to help me become the version of me that I wanted to be, and I'm like become that version, that next level version of me. And so then the discomfort dissolves. So this is where like from where I was, like the amount of discomfort that I had when I posted this first podcast episode, and I was like so much more full of self-doubt and does this make sense and blah, blah, blah. Like you might even notice it in how I was speaking, like there's more of an energy of unsureness. Now this is what, episode 8. The more that I did it, it's like I definitely don't have that same level of self-doubt, because from the experiences that I've had, it's like I've built up my, like the more that I did it, the more the discomfort went down. It's like I worked through that. I worked through the self-doubt. I worked through all the things that were coming up back then when I was trying to upload episode 1. And so naturally, as you do the things, the discomfort levels go down. And when the discomfort levels go down, that's when you're ready for more. So, and then when you bring in more, you're basically consciously bringing in new discomforts. Okay, because you're trying to stretch to the next level. So your capacity is essentially your ability to hold discomfort, because it's that discomfort, and because you're growing in both directions and both sides of the polarity spectrum. In order to get the good stuff, in order to get what you really want on the positive side of the polarity spectrum, you have to be able to hold the discomfort on the negative side of the polarity spectrum. And so that's why we focus on discomfort, because it's not that we're afraid to have the good stuff. It's not that we're afraid to have money or to have people watching us. We're afraid of like the potential negatives that can come from that. We're scared of the potential judgments that we get from all these extra people watching us and all the hate comments maybe. And, you know, like we have to stretch. We have to stretch in both directions. So I hope that helped you. If you have any questions or comments or anything, or just any clarification, this is a way that I'm also balancing my discomfort of like making sure that people understand what I'm saying. It's just like asking. It's like if you need any clarification on anything, write a comment and I will answer you.